This podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek. Our friends over at SeatGeek are giving us a promo code of TBA Wrestling. That is TBA Wrestling for $20 off your first purchase. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Gunners Are Us, where we are positively Arsenal.
And that we are.
I think we are. I feel good.
Yeah. There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
Considering it's been a week where we said last week that it's going to be a bit of a dull week.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, the dread I feel right this second
Yeah.
is something I haven't felt in a minute.
Yeah.
And that is simply down to... I'm going to call this episode... I wanted to call this episode Foden Put It On a Plate for Us.
Yeah.
But I will get to that in a bit because I think that's even funnier. But it might have to be called... Oh no, I just completely blanked because I started thinking about Foden. It was depth perception.
Depth perception.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think that's a good name for this. So
Yeah.
I'd remember that because
That's really good.
Simply because I think that is what we need to talk about. We have to unpack this perception of what our depth actually is.
Well, it's almost like the depth perspective.
Depth perspective is a very good one. I think depth perception is more of a play on words.
Perception.
Yeah. Like when you look at something and if you're long side and short side.
I'm perceiving it to be depth, but
Right. The perception is depth and the depth isn't there. And we'll get to that a lot because we've had some injuries.
yeah.
Dang. We were talking about it last week that we didn't want this to happen. And we were hoping, touch wood, that we were going to... No point touching wood because I did it last week and it didn't help. But we were hoping we were going to get all our players back from North London Derby, which we were told we were going to.
Yeah.
And we just had to get through one international break where we don't get any more injuries.
Yeah.
And we've ended up adding injuries and no one's coming back from North London
Yeah,
Derby.
fantastic.
So it's
The
been
opposite.
bad. But again, we'll unpack that fully, maybe make yourself feel better, make myself feel better about it because, like I said, I think currently I have more of a dread than I've had all season. That dread that I said we had last couple of years,
Yeah.
I felt like, you remember we were saying like, oh yeah, but so-and-so gets injured. We're like, all right, we'll deal with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know now if the dread has been this heavy since last season or whether, when we say like, oh yeah, Mascara came in at Anfield. We did lose though.
Yeah.
And then like, Mascara did this or so-and-so came in and did this. Madueke did this. And then you're like, but it's easy to say that in hindsight when you still won the game.
Yeah.
But when you're looking ahead at 3 really tough games and going, oh, we have to do that with a limited squad, all of a sudden it's, whereas at the other end, this time next week when we're doing the podcast,
Yeah.
we might be, about to play Bayern Munich or whatever it is and having beaten Tottenham
Yeah.
and going, yeah, our
fine.
depth is so good that it didn't matter how many injuries we had. But that's why I want to unpack it. But guys, if you've just joined us, please, this is Gunners Are Us podcast. We are on iTunes and Spotify. Give us a 5-star review. But we also have a Patreon. The link is underneath this. If you want to hear more content from us, almost daily content, the only time we haven't is this last week, simply because it's international. There's not been much to talk about. But as of the last few weeks, we've been doing ad-free versions of this go up with this on the normal feed. You also get previews, post-matches. You get random news dropping. We'll jump on here. So constant content over on your Patreon. So if you want to do that, go over there and subscribe to our Patreon. I think it's $7.50 a month, I believe. It works out something like that. It's hard to tell. We put it at £6. It says $7.50.
Taxes.
I think there's a tax or something. I don't know. But it's something like that. So go check that out. The link is below. And also, now we're back from the international. This is hot and heavy. So you're going to be getting content constantly because, after this podcast this week, you're going to get preview of the North London Derby, post-match North London Derby, preview of Bayern Munich, this normal podcast ad-free, post-Bayern Munich, preview of Chelsea away, post Chelsea away, then ad-free version of this podcast. So that's 6 episodes in the next 10 days.
Yeah. You get a lot.
Plus this one, so 7. So almost every other day you're going to have
value
that
for
content.
money's decent.
And 6, 7. But between now and March, it pretty much stays like this.
It's all downhill to March
Yeah,
now.
so it's going to be very constant. So if you're going to jump on the Patreon, this is the perfect time to do it because we're going to be extremely busy.
I dare say by March we'll know a lot more.
We'll know a lot more. We'll know a lot more. We'll quickly just round up internationals because it's been quite exciting for the home nations. I think Scotland, McTominay overhead kick, Tierney ex-Arsenal getting the late goal, sending them through 3-2, then went to 4-2 with a goal from the halfway line. So Scotland in the World Cup.
Yeah.
England in the World Cup. First time ever, 0 goals conceded, 8 games won out of 8.
Yeah.
Unbelievable return. There's been, and Ian Wright's made this point, I think the nonsense around Lewis Skelly Jude Bellingham, Bukayo Saka, all these nonsenses that get brought up every single time we do all this
Yeah.
is simply because they don't know what else to argue about because we're just winning games comfortably.
Well, it's usually something negative to talk
Yeah.
about, but
Oh, we
nothing.
lost a big game, or we
Yeah.
did this. There isn't anything. So they're going, oh, well, Tuchel's going, oh, Lewis Skelly has to play more, even though he picks John Stones, who's played one game in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. All right, well, we need to create some kind of controversy. Oh, Jude Bellingham looked annoyed when he came off. Yeah, because most players that are really good get really annoyed
They
when
wanna
come
play,
off.
yeah.
They want to play. Saka, oh, he doesn't score enough goals for England, even though he's the current top goal scorer outside of Kane.
Yeah.
There's so much nonsense that it feels like they can't almost handle happy,
Yeah.
going well, positive England. They
Good
have to
times.
create something. So, and then obviously you've got Republic of Ireland, Troy Parrott getting a hat trick.
Yeah.
They took down Portugal and Hungary in 1 week, and shout out to Szoboszlai who was making fun of them.
Yeah.
And then minutes later, an hour later, was now not in the World Cup.
Yeah.
So Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, I think are all in the playoffs
Yeah.
with Wales, who won 7-1 last night against an unbeaten team.
Yes.
Unbelievable return. It could be Ireland versus Wales in the playoffs. We don't know yet.
Oh.
I think that's this week.
Who are you
find out.
picking?
Yeah, but I'd love it if somehow we could get all the home nations in some capacity to the World Cup. I don't think you can get all of them, but you can get 4 out of 5, I think.
Yeah. And us being in Wales currently, I'd like to see Wales there.
Yeah, I think I want to see Wales there. Scotland already there. I'd love to see Republic of Ireland out there. I love the old school Republic of Ireland kits.
Oh, the USA '94 was a fond memory. Jackie Charlton on the sideline.
Yeah, I don't know. It is a really good time. And last time Scotland even went to a World Cup was 98 France, and Ali McCoist was playing and people like that. Like, it's a lot, and there was fans outside the Scotland stadium saying this is so important to me, and it was like a guy with his 2 12-year-old sons. And he was like, I was 7 last time we went there. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, I forget we're that person.
Yeah, we're those guys now. Yeah.
We are the ones that would say, but again, as England fans, we've been very lucky to
Yeah, we have.
to get through to a lot of tournaments.
Fortunate sons.
Especially in the last 3 or 4, we've gone to finals and stuff. But the international break as a whole, in that sense, home nation-wise, very nice, very good. Eza got put on a plate by Phil Foden.
Yeah, it did, yeah. Served up.
I'm not going to go too deep into that because I think it's been done and it's kind of old news now.
Wild.
But I don't know what kind of management team Phil Foden has, but the way in which, even in real time, it was happening. It wasn't just in hindsight. In real time, you're like, oh my God, look at that pass.
That pass, though.
It was a 5-yard pass. If anything, dare I say, it wasn't just a pass. It was a bad pass.
It was bobbly and slightly behind him.
It was so bobbling behind him. Eza had to take it first time.
I thought they were being sarcastic.
And he goes and puts it top bins, and they're like, oh my God. And then they have the gall to go to Eza and go, was it all Phil Foden? And he's like, yeah, I guess. It's a very... We didn't talk about this last week, did we? I can't remember if we talked about this last week.
I think it was. I think we did.
Yeah, it was brief on it. But that, and then obviously this week, Saka comes off the bench in the second one, gets an assist. Generally across the board, very happy.
Positively international.
Yeah. Italy lose, I think it was to Norway 4-1. Calafiori comes home injured,
Yeah.
or supposedly injured. They can't get through, other than the playoffs now, so they didn't need him for the game.
Yeah.
So it feels more precautionary. It's turned out, we haven't seen Arteta's press conference yet. It's not happened yet. Not that he'll give us anything,
No.
but it seems very much that Calafiori should be fit.
Yep.
It was just more precautionary, like, we don't need you, we don't want to stretch you. And we'd rather Brazil have taken the same notion, because here's the big one. Gabriel was training alone for Brazil with a fitness guy.
Yeah.
They didn't think he was fit enough.
Yeah.
He trained before the game at the Emirates on his own.
Yeah.
He then went on to play 60 minutes in which he sprinted back
When it was a
and
friendly.
pulled a groin abductor in a friendly. And they're now saying it's going to be 1 to 2 months. So we could be missing him until late January.
Fantastic.
Best case scenario, could be back before New Year. But realistically, we're looking end of Jan now. And he's probably the main, like we talked about last week, Gabriel, Zubamendi, Gyökeres. They're kind of this season's heart and soul.
Yeah.
And, if before this international, if last week we had taken a poll of who is the worst case scenario of getting injured, we'd probably say Gabriel or Saka.
Definitely, yeah.
And the added part was Saka, asked to come off, it looked like, but it was actually a boot
Scared
last
us
week.
all.
Scared everyone. But with Gabriel, it's a groin. It looks like the best case scenario is 4 weeks, which would still mean he misses, because of the way the fixtures are, I think it's like 7 or 8 games.
Big games as well.
7 games. That's the best case.
Yeah.
Worst case, he's looking at close to 11, 12. And it's annoying because obviously AFCON's coming up
Yeah.
in January. And when you start thinking, do you know, we're playing Liverpool there, or like, you start then going, oh, Liverpool play Sunderland, of course, in January when they're missing all their players. And, you know, we struggle with Sunderland, but other teams are going to deal with them when they've got half their players missing, all these kind of things. And then you go, oh, you know, well, when everyone else is struggling without Salah or so-and-so, now it's like, yeah, we're not going to have Gabriel either. So it's now going, oh, at what point is this, you know, apparent super team, super squad, ever going to be fully fit where we can just go, is there going to be one game in the whole season where it's just everyone's going to line, everyone's fit, we play our first 11, and everyone on the bench is madly good?
Or maybe after January.
But we said this on the podcast literally last week. We were going, well, at least everyone's back post-international. If no one gets injured, even if one person gets injured, at least we've got 6 coming back.
Yeah.
So this week, it's turned out, obviously, the Gabriel injury is absolutely horrible news. Calafiori, I'm going to say he's fit.
Yeah.
Zubimendi scored, fit. Moreno got a book in, no goal, so that's over.
Yeah.
But he's fit. He saved those goals up for us.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Rice, Saka seems to be fit, Eza seems to be fit, you know, all these kind of guys.
Mm-hmm.
But news dropped yesterday from Hand of Arsenal, which is obviously the big... We assume it's Berta at this point, because the way that this guy moved during the summer was just unreal.
That'd be amazing if it is Berta.
It's people think it's Frimy, and Frimy is like, it's not, but he seems to know a lot about he's the only one who got everything right all summer, and was getting it right like months out.
It's someone
of note because they too much information. But he basically, or she, posted this week saying Gyökeres is a major doubt for North London Derby, which we were under the impression that maybe he was one of the ones that would definitely be back for North London Derby, because we're not sure what this soft tissue muscle thing is.
It's not been very clear.
It's not been very clear with Gyökeres. But that was the other thing we said last week. We don't know with Gyökeres. This could be a 6-monther. They've not been so quiet.
Yeah.
Whereas at least with others, we knew like Odegaard's getting close. Havertz, Jesus is on the pitch with the team now.
Yeah.
Martinelli isn't training, but close.
Yeah.
We knew all this pre-international. Now, let's fast forward. Gabriel gone. He's gone now.
Yeah.
He has to go for a minimum of 4 weeks. Everyone else has come back fit in that back line.
Mm-hmm.
There was a worry for Timber. He went down screaming with pain
Yeah.
in Holland game after 20 minutes. He went off, then came back on. And we've seen this happen before with him.
Yeah.
But I think it was a large cut. So that could be a doubt for the North London Derby.
Causes problems.
Yeah. Lewis Skelly was training, which there was an issue that maybe there was something going on with Lewis Skelly. There's not. He was training. And then now we get to, you know, Zubimendi, Rice, Eza, all fit. Mm-hmm. We're happy with that. Waneri did amazing couple goals for England, under 21s or 18s, I can't remember who it was. But he was playing fine. You know, we're good. Norgard fit.
Mm-hmm.
Moreno fit.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the people coming back.
Yeah.
Madueke, we were told, will be definitely ready.
Yep.
That's the only one we have not been told he's still a doubt. Nor have anyone said he's available.
Been quiet.
The quietness in this sense fills me with slight positivity that he will be fit for North London Derby. Plus, Arsenal have already aligned that huge interview to drop the day of.
Yeah.
He's a Tottenham schoolboy. You know, there's a lot to it that feels storyline-wise that he's going to be fit for that game.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
So him and Saka on that right. Havertz, we were under the impression would be back for this game, or at least in contention.
Yeah.
I think it was Hansi Flick is the German manager. Mm-hmm. Or was it Nagelsmann? I might have just butchered that.
Nagelsmann.
Yeah. He said, we don't know this, but he's just said, because he was asked about Havertz in the post-match, he has a minor setback in his recovery and he won't be back until the end of the year. We don't know about this, but we've now got inside information. So Havertz still not back.
Who's told him that, though?
Assume Havertz.
Well, is that not just Arteta? Maybe just...
I don't think so. I think this is what an Arteta does.
Bubble wrap situation. Like, keep him away.
The fact... That tells me that Havertz has spoken to Madge and said, I'll be back for the next set, but I've had a little setback. Because the internationals have to find out the medical reports.
Okay.
Because they have to know who they're allowed to pick and who they aren't allowed to pick. So Havertz, cut back. Right before the international, I don't know if you remember, but Jesus was already training, and he's trained this whole time, and he looks bloody unreal in training.
He feels like one of those players that, even when he ages, he's so smart.
He's going to be such a fun player.
He's intelligent.
Yeah. But we're watching all this, and he's on the field more than any of the other players we're mentioning.
Yeah.
And Arsenal themselves said he won't be fit for a few more weeks.
Yeah.
So Jesus is gone, but that was one I kind of expected.
Yeah.
Gyökeres, I really did feel he wouldn't be fit for this one simply because they were too quiet on it.
Yeah.
Where Madueke, I feel like it's a positive quiet. That felt like a negative quiet, like they didn't want to worry anyone.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually a bit longer term than we expect. There is people reporting they think Arsenal, hand of Arsenal particularly, are being a very coy with that and trying to put Tottenham off a little bit.
Yeah. They're all fit.
Well, I think there's a small chance Gyökeres is fit and it's just a late test.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Martinelli is the other one that now we're being told he's going to be too short for North London Derby.
Yeah.
So essentially, everyone that we said was going to be back, none of them are guaranteed.
No.
There's a chance Madueke could be fit.
A chance, just because they haven't said anything.
The problem is, it's such a short time because we were hoping it all fit, not because we wanted them all for the North London Derby. We wanted them for that 7 days.
Yeah.
Because what's coming up is Spurs at home, Munich at home, Chelsea away.
Yeah.
Then I think it's Villa away or something.
It's all tough.
It's something, yeah. And when we looked at it, we thought, yeah, we don't necessarily need them all for the North London Derby. But we need them all kind of in training.
Yeah.
Because then, maybe you get Martinelli and Noni back for North London Derby.
Yeah.
We can deal with that. And then by Munich, they're like, yeah, Gyökeres is now in training. He's in contention.
Yeah.
Then by Chelsea, all of them are still available, but they're like, Odegaard and Havertz are actually available now.
It's like drip fed.
Yeah, and it also just gives people time to have time off.
Yeah.
Trossard isn't playing 90 minutes 3 times.
Yeah, because they're not all going to play every game.
Right. The issue we're having now is Havertz, end of year, they're saying. Gabriel, January. Odegaard, the Norway manager, said he looks like he's starting to gain fitness and he'll be back on the pitch soon.
Okay.
So that doesn't fill me full of confidence that it's anytime soon.
Yeah.
So that's end of year. Gyökeres, they're being too quiet. It could be end of year. It could be midweek next week.
Yeah.
Madueke, I feel a bit better about. Martinelli, I feel a bit better about. But when you look at it, you're thinking, oh my God, all of a sudden we thought it was here. It's actually here. And that means that smaller crew is going to have to get through 4 or 5 games before they get any relief. And you know what's going to happen if those 4 or 5 games, they have to play all those games? Soft tissue injuries.
More injuries, yeah.
More injuries. Stephen Kerr, I think he's Golden State coach in a minute, or Phoenix Suns, I can't remember.
Okay, yeah.
Basketball. He was talking in a press conference saying, I'm extremely worried about the amount of soft tissue injuries in sport in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
And he said it's all to do with workload. Players are expected to play more in all sports.
Yeah.
And they're playing at a higher intensity.
It does feel like sports in general just doesn't stop now.
No, it doesn't.
It just feels like when we were kids, stuff would be spaced out.
Yeah.
Players would play once a week. It was all very spread out. Whereas it feels like sport is just bang, 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 bang. And the best players are expected to play.
Yeah, it's every 2. Because if you think about it, Arteta put it best. He was like, the reason we get soft tissue injuries is because you play Sunday, they have to recover Monday.
Yeah.
He said, then you need to work out the muscle. He said, because for example, he said, you can't not work out.
Yeah.
You have to work out in the gym.
Yeah.
To build the muscle so the ligaments aren't under stress.
Yeah.
Said, but you also need to be on field building your cardiovascular and the ligaments in the movement that you're trained in.
Yeah.
He said, but you can't do that without the muscle. So he said, Monday you have to recoup.
That's your recoup day, yeah.
Then Tuesday you're in the gym, you have to build the muscle, but that means you can't work the ligament. So then Wednesday you want to then get on the field and work ligament. No, you can't, you're playing. So their workout is the game. So then Thursday comes, they have to recover from the game. Friday comes, they have to build that muscle. Then they go Saturday, let's get recovery. They might actually on this one because game's Sunday.
Yeah.
So Saturday comes and they go, all right, let's get on the field. They actually train for once.
It feels like training's there's not a lot of time for training.
No, and they said, because they talked about Rice and they said, you're spending a lot of time doing it. Not really. So majority of the corners I've ever taken are in-game.
Yeah.
So because when can we ever get time to do it? Because there's a game coming and we have to recover, and your body can only recover so quick. They can't just go, do you know what, let's just not do the recovery day and get straight in the gym. So that's when you get more injuries.
Yeah.
And he said, and if you don't do that work in the gym, more injuries will happen.
Yeah.
But if you don't recover and don't get the ligament under tension on the field, the muscle will tear. So he said it's this balance that usually what would happen years ago, you'd play every 6 days or so on average. Recovery,
a lot more training.
Gym, training, gym, recovery, game.
Yeah.
Boom, and you can do that every week. Whereas now they're not getting to the 3rd stage of what they need every. Basically, their training session of under load is the game usually.
Oh.
So they're working. That's why they're having to wear the vests. And when he put it that way, I was like, oh, it makes so much sense because they're high-end athletes and people say, oh, they get paid enough and all this kind of stuff. But when you hear that, you're like, yeah, when do they? Because you start thinking well, why do they go to the gym? Just train. It's like, well, no, because if you don't go to the gym and don't build the muscle, the ligaments are taking all the load, and therefore that's when you'll tear your knees and your hamstrings and thighs.
That's rough.
It's weird, isn't it? And they have to, and so in a good week, they're working out in the gym twice a week.
Yeah.
If you imagine, like, if you spoke to a friend of yours and go, "How many days are you in the gym?" and he goes 4, you go, "We should do 5, really."
Yeah.
That's for regular people.
Yeah.
They're doing 2, and they're at the highest end.
It's like they haven't got enough time to cram everything they need to do in.
Yeah, they can't.
Which is mad at that level, that they aren't figuring out a schedule or timing to actually fit in everything they need to do. When your mate round the corner is fitting in everything he needs to do for nothing.
And again, we're not thinking about recovery. Like, how many times have we gymmed Monday through Friday? Where was the recovery day?
Yeah.
Because on Saturday you worked, and then Sunday you worked, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday you worked.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday's recovery, but you're still in the gym.
Yeah.
And you're still going for a dog walk in the evening.
Yeah.
And you're still going to AstroTurf to play with your mates, or whatever. So, like, human beings don't, but also we're not playing at the level.
Not that intense.
No. So when you hear it that way, Kerr was talking about it for basketball and saying it's going to keep happening because the workload is too high.
Yeah.
There is no time to recover. So,
especially some of those American sports like baseball, basketball, like they play every day.
Yeah, I'd say with baseball, at least they turn out the teams. Like, you have hitters that play almost every day.
Yeah.
But the pitchers are getting 3-4 days rest after every game.
Yeah.
That's more than what Premier League players are getting. And they're running.
But basketball, like they play.
Basketball is every day they play.
Pretty consistently playing, and they're
130
running,
games a year.
like back and forth.
And they don't take days off, really.
No.
They pretty much play every day.
He's mad.
But no, it's all about soft tissue injuries, and that's, I think it's going to keep going because I was talking to WWO's Elton Prince, and he was saying, surely we've got to look at Arteta now because do you remember Conte?
Yeah.
People get injured a lot under him because his workload was too high.
Yeah.
And Arteta does have the feeling of someone who maybe works people very hard.
We get so many injuries.
It's too many, and that's what I mean. It can't be random now.
Yeah.
People moaned about the pitch or Sobar. Yeah, I think it's genuinely something. Some people are putting a lot of blame on Gabriel, saying, "Why didn't he just tell Brazil, like, I can't play.
Yeah.
I'm not fit." But you'd hope that Brazil would go, "It's a friendly.
Yeah.
He's training alone because we can't get him fit. Maybe don't start the guy."
And you'd hope there'd be like handlers is not the word, but like someone that's
medical team.
Yeah, people that are keeping an eye on him, so he doesn't have to be the one. Because from a player's perspective, there's a lot of pride that comes with playing for your country.
Especially Brazil, there is a lot that ties to that.
You don't want to be the one to have to turn around and say, "Look, I'm not 100%, so I probably shouldn't play," because they don't want to do that.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, and I think Lewis Elton was saying it, and I said, but the thing was, last year we had a load of injuries. Nearly all of them came from international breaks.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Arsenal's particular, but there could be the back end of when you train the way you do at Arsenal, and then you have 10 days away at England.
Yeah.
Maybe the intensity's lower. Maybe the workouts are harder.
Yeah.
Maybe the
shifts a little bit.
The games are a little slower. Therefore, when you go away from work for 2 weeks,
your tempo's gone.
You can't get your tempo back. So maybe it's that, and that's causing some soft tissue stuff. But the worry I have is, and this is where we're going to get to the depth. Everyone was saying, last year everyone moaned at us, you didn't have enough depth, that's your own fault. So we went out and bought a load of depth. Everyone moaned at us, you spent too much money, you got too big a depth, you got too big a squad. And we all went, trust me, we all said this at the start of the season, what's your perfect 11? We said, you'll never see it.
No.
Because there'll be so many injuries, you will never have an abundance of people. We'll never have a point where you look at that bench and it's Havertz, Odegaard, Martinelli, Moreno, Eze, and someone else, let's say, and we all sit there going, God, they can't be happy to be on their bench. Yeah. They're never going to show that shot on camera.
No.
Because we're never going to see it because there's going to be enough injuries. And we said this at the start of the season.
That feels old hat. Like, I don't know if it's just because I watch Arsenal more than most other teams, but it feels like when we were growing up, like you had your set 11, like Arsenal through the 90s, let's say. There was a set 11 you knew were playing. Then you had your bench that was always the same players, but you barely ever saw them. They just stayed. They were bench players. They were bench players. But I don't know if we're in a world now where bench players isn't a thing anymore. I don't know if other teams have a set 11 and they manage to stick to it with no injuries, or if the world is just like that now. You have a core group of players, but it just rotates a lot, and people are happy to be on the bench because you're not a bench player. You're just rotating. Yeah,
I think there is. I think in modern football, I think you're going to always have to have 4 or 5 players on there that don't want to be on the bench, and it is a rotation. And I think that's fine. Like, for example, at the minute, Moreno, he's going to be saying, like, I'm not playing every game.
Yeah.
But he's also probably looking at the squad going, it's a good squad. But he's probably thinking, but I'm scoring more goals than anyone else in Europe at the minute.
Yeah.
Why am I not playing?
Yeah.
You kind of want those kind of players on your bench, but we never truly felt we were going to see 6 or 7 first teamers on the bench, and we're going to go. They all know that only 4 of them are coming on.
Yeah.
I know it's 5, but I'd say it's never going to make 5 subs.
Yeah.
But they're going to be looking around going, well, you're not getting on. And I think the only time we saw that was the start of the season. Martinelli was on the bench a lot, and he was coming on and scoring.
Yeah.
Then he'd start the next. Trossard would be livid on the bench, and then he'd come on and score. But that's kind of what you want.
Competition.
Yeah, and then Eze, I think, was probably maybe thinking, I'm never going to play if Odegaard's there. I'm going to play on the left.
Yeah.
But then Odegaard went down. A wild stat. Odegaard's got through 390 minutes in 2025.
Jesus. That is mad.
When you think of that, Havertz, same.
That is great. Considering they were two of the, workhorse players of the team last season.
Since the January 1st of this year, neither of them have completed 390 minutes.
That's mad. That's part of our spine.
Yeah, and that's the big issue here is, at the same time, by the way, Gabriel didn't play a game this season for us, a full 90, till August.
Jesus.
This year.
That is crazy.
He missed, because he tore his hamstring in early January.
Yeah.
He missed the whole season. So he wasn't back. Saka only came back in the end of Jan. No, the end of Jan. He came back for the last 2 games of last season.
Yeah, he was missing.
He missed the whole of that start.
a long time,
at the end of last year, that's why we knew the depth was bad. Because Saka, Gabriel, Havertz, Martinelli missed a long period. Odegaard was out. All these guys missed all that time. Ben White was out all season.
Yeah.
And then right at the end of the season, everyone got fit for one last game.
Yeah.
And then pre-season, everyone seemed fit.
Yeah.
Jesus was out, obviously. Jesus got injured in the start of January. He hasn't played a 90 yet.
That's a long one, yeah.
But again, when this year ends, there's a chance we'll say Gabriel, Havertz, Odegaard, Jesus
Yeah.
played less than about 10, 90 minutes.
Jesus.
Collectively, less than 15.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a whole year, calendar year. For your captain, your best centre-back, your centre forward,
Yeah.
and your backup centre forward, to miss that much time over a year, at the end of one season and a half of one season.
Yeah.
When you look even between now and the start of the year, Saka has played 1 game at the end of last season. He did some pre-season.
Yeah.
He's played for England and that. He missed 3 games this season already.
Jesus, yeah.
So he's played 15 games this year.
That's mad.
Arsenal.
Yeah. I tell you what, talking about depth though, the fact that that's the case, and until you said it then, I didn't realise that had happened.
Yeah, to be top.
To be top and to feel comfortable enough
Yeah.
that happened, and I didn't even really notice.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm worrying about is right now I have the dread that I haven't felt.
Yeah.
I felt it last year because we didn't have that depth. Last year, by the way, we've talked about it before. The end of last year, that's 6 months. January to the end of the year. There was no Saka, there was no Gabriel, there was no Havertz, there was no Odegaard, there was no White, there was no Jesus. Martinelli missed half of it. That's the reason why. How many games do we watch that Moreno was up front,
Yeah.
Tierney was on the left,
Yeah.
and on the right was Waneri.
Yeah.
We pretty much did that till the end of the season.
Yeah.
And Zinchenko was playing left 8 half the time
Yeah.
because Rice was playing 6. And Moreno was playing 10 sometimes, and Trossard was playing up front. So we got through that, and they went, that can't happen again. We have to buy depth.
Yeah.
So what's happened is we've bought the depth, and then the same amount of injuries have happened. So we're not as bad off as having to play, this weekend, it's North London Derby, we are not playing Waneri, Tierney, and Moreno.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we will be playing Trossard, Moreno, Saka,
Yeah.
with Eze behind, not Moreno behind.
Yeah. So the depth,
The depth has dealt with it.
but it's minimum now.
Yeah, the depth basically was underneath and sat there and went, all right, cool, we're here just in case. Immediately, the top went.
Yeah.
And the depth was exposed to the team.
Yeah.
And then the depth went, we're playing every 3 games.
Yeah.
Where's our depth? There isn't any.
Yeah.
Beyond, if this weekend Saka goes down and so does Trossard, it will be Dalman, Waneri, and Moreno up front.
Yeah.
Hit 100%, that's all it will be. And there's no one else beyond that point.
Yeah.
It will be Harren Anus have to come in and play. And he did a great job.
Yeah.
But the problem is you can't compete for the top titles when you're constantly having to go, all right, we've got to get through the next 9 games with Mascara, not Gabriel.
Yeah, you shouldn't be fighting to survive
Yeah.
at the top, really.
Really, for a period, 2 months is a long period.
Yeah.
Teams don't lose top players for 2 months.
Yeah.
We're talking year-long injuries for
Yeah.
our players. Like Havertz, Saka, Martinelli. And, these guys are going out for, 15 games in a calendar year. Is a very, 60 games happen.
Yeah.
To play 15, that's a quarter of them.
Yeah, so we're usually just having to make do with either a half or a quarter of a season with not our main team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the next 2 months we didn't have Gabriel and we didn't have Odegaard, That's horrible. You centre back and your captain,
That's bad enough, yeah.
and you didn't have him for 2 months. That depth can deal with that because you have Eza, you have Waneri to deal with Odegaard, you have Mascara, you have Henkapi, you have Timber out of push, Calafiori. That's fine because they can rotate every 3 days.
Yeah.
The problem is the Gabriel one. I'm not as worried about. The Gabriel one I worry about simply because he's just very.
He's focal point.
Yeah, he's the personality of that centre back like position of the defence. He hasn't been missing this season very much.
No.
It's been Saliba.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it when he's gone for a while.
Well, I mean, was it Saliba that was missing that led us to drop the league a couple seasons ago?
Yeah, and Holding came in. And then last year, Gabriel missing and Kivior came in.
Yeah.
Do I think Kivior and Mosquera, who's better? Kivior's probably better.
Yeah.
I think that the
ceiling on
ceiling on Mosquera is much bigger.
Yeah.
But immediately, but also, for example, Kivior gave us some great results at the end of last year.
Yeah.
He went to Real Madrid. He did home to Real Madrid. He went to PSG. He played a lot of these games and did very well.
Yeah.
So that's not my concern. It's the week on week, that personality, like, is Mosquera going to come up with a big header late on against Newcastle in Newcastle? No.
No.
He's not going to do that because it's 1 in a million players that do types of things like that.
Yeah.
And week in, week out, they do it.
Yeah.
On set pieces, one of our big reliance now, because if we can't break a team down, we go to set pieces.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that stands on the centre box on his own, shoving a guy, and the whole thing is alarmed to make it so he gets the ball?
Yeah.
That guy's gone.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a worry, but the good thing is we have 8 to 9 good defenders.
Yeah.
You remove one, we still have 8 to play there.
Yeah, we're not bringing in Holding. Like it's good.
No. Mosquera could play there. Hincapié can play there. I think Hincapié will actually be the one that plays.
Yeah.
Because he's the left-sided of the two.
Yeah, he's more natural there.
Yeah, whereas Mosquera is the fill-in for
Saliba,
really. I think he might go with Mosquera simply because he's played more.
Yeah.
But I think I'd rather... I think he's right-footed. Mosquera, and it doesn't feel right. You could see a lot of sideway passes that could get awry.
It's a bit awkward, yeah.
So I think Hincapié might be there. Calafiori, Hincapié, Saliba and Timber. It's still very good.
Yeah.
You can rotate that a little bit.
Or even Calafiori coming in and
play left centre back. And Lewis Kelly, he's been unbelievable at left back. And also Hincapié could play left back.
Yeah.
So you could have Calafiori as the centre back. And also, what's he been doing with Saliba recently? He's been inverting him in.
Yeah.
Calafiori does that better than anyone in the world.
Yeah.
So maybe we do that. But so the defence is not where I'm overly worried about. It's a missing Gabriel. You can't lie. It's the lack of people coming back is worrying me because if someone said, oh, by midweek most of them will be back, or by next weekend, you could go, all right, that crew's good enough to beat Tottenham and Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
The only one I worry about is Moreno up front. But I know he's done a really good job. But if that was just Gyökeres, Trossard, Gyökeres and Saka having to play every 3 days, I go, that's an unbelievable front three.
Yeah.
And Eza just behind, happy.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they can't actually change it, though.
No,
that's what worries me.
No options.
No.
Like, who goes up there if Moreno
Yeah, and
comes
this is,
off?
God forbid, no more injuries happen. And we're forcing these guys to play every 3 days. That's my big concern is, if someone said, like, if Arteta said, yeah, they're not going to make North London Derby, but, Martinelli and Madueke will be available for Bayern Munich. And then said, and it looks like Gyökeres, Madueke, Martinelli and Odegaard will be available for Chelsea. Then I'd go, okay. Because all we've got to get through is then North London Derby with a stretched squad.
Yeah.
And with an emotional game like the North London Derby starting a hard 7 days, it's the most emotional of the 7.
Yeah.
You could also drain yourself. And you're also missing someone who's extremely emotional like Gabriel who could do something special.
Yeah.
Because Tottenham they're very boring this year, but they're very solid.
Very solid, yeah.
So we're going to have to break them down. And you'd feel better when Saka isn't doubled up. Mm-hmm. He's going to be tripled up.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to worry about Moreno. Mm-hmm. Trossard is also going to get in the action because people aren't worried about him.
Yeah.
Eza is another huge threat. He's a bigger threat than Odegaard, but maybe doesn't. All-round play isn't what Odegaard's was. People like Mendy and Rice, I think, are just so underrated that, we don't even talk about it, but they're the ones that I'd worry about the most if they went missing.
Oh, yeah, in any game. Like, if you didn't see or hear from them, something's up.
Yeah, I'd say Zubimendi over any other player, including Gabriel, he would have been the one, if he got injured, I would have gone,
yeah, big hole.
I don't know what we do because the Norgard have to replace him.
Yeah.
And if it isn't Norgard, it's Rice, which is fine, but I think Rice is about 8 and he is a 6.
It's a knock-on effect, yeah.
And then also Moreno's left 8, and then there's no one up front.
Yeah.
So that's my bigger worry. The only benefit is these players are coming back.
Yeah.
If the first 3 games coming back were maybe, I don't know, Everton at home, and then Shakhtar at home, and then away to West Ham.
Yeah.
You'd go, that team can get through that.
Yeah.
It's the fact that, and luckily we built ourselves enough of a cushion
Yeah.
that, you know, if we do draw with Tottenham and then lose to Bayern Munich, neither are causing a huge problem in the league. And then the next week at Chelsea, maybe you do get 3 or 4 players back and you do go and win.
Go again.
And then you go again.
Yeah.
So the benefit is that we're in a lovely position for this to happen.
Yeah.
The problem is if we cannot keep these people fit all season,
Yeah.
we will not compete at the end of the year. City don't have any injuries right now.
I mean,
They are working on all cylinders and they have a really lovely calendar for the next month. They could easily go, whoop, and then once they're ahead, it's over.
yeah.
And then by January, I'm sure we've lost 6 more players and then Downman's playing 90 minutes.
You can't. We built a lot of quality depth over the preseason, which is obviously really showing to be working for us now.
Yeah.
Depending on how we get through the next three or four games. Can you imagine if we didn't do that? And I know we can't do that every preseason. Like every preseason, you can't completely revamp your depth with the level of quality that we have done this season. But what I will say is, no matter the way it looks now, if we can get through these 3 games, like you say, even if it's a draw to Tottenham, a loss to Bayern Munich, and a win against Chelsea, considering the position we're in squad-wise, do you see that as success? Or does it have to be we continue the way we've been going, regardless of the depth being used? Because, I mean, if we can get through these 3 games with, like, a win against Tottenham, a draw against Bayern Munich, and a win against Chelsea, I mean, I can't see us winning all 3. All 3 is asking for a lot. I mean, all 3 is asking for a lot even when you've got your full-strength squad available. But if we can get through all 3 with what we've got, with wins, like, that's massive if we can. But that is a big, like, a lot of people question the purchases Arteta was making on, like, why he went so nuts with the depth.
Yeah.
It's kind of proving to be working at this point. But if we go through these 3 games and it doesn't work out,
Yeah.
he's going to get questions asked again on the depth, because he's done what we consider to be about as good a depth preseason as you can possibly do. I don't think you can have another preseason like that. So if this works out, he's been proven right, which is a massive statement in the league.
I'd say this as well. If you think about it, when you think of who we've gained back, I was just reading up, and it looks like Martinelli was in training yesterday. In the pictures that Stuart McFarlane took, it looked like Martinelli was there.
Okay.
Where essentially, before the international break,
Yeah.
we had all agreed we had way too many injuries.
Yeah.
But they're all in the attacking third.
Yeah.
We've now gone, all right, we've now lost a defender. But we've got coverage.
Yeah.
We have coverage. We've gained back a forward. So we had to sacrifice a defender for a new forward to come back.
Yeah.
Really, we're in a better position we were before the international break.
Yeah.
The problem is, in our brains, we had told ourselves we're getting them all back.
Yeah, it seemed that way.
And it never felt like... It felt more pie in the sky, like excitement that we think that. But in essence, so far, the depth has worked unbelievably.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because we have had 7 attackers missing for the majority of it.
And look at our record in the Premier League and Champions League. Like, it's all perfect pretty much other than the Liverpool game.
Yeah. To have what we have, which is, I think, 2 draws, a loss, and 14 wins in all comps.
The depth is definitely
No
worked,
goals conceded in Champions League. It's put us in a great position. And that's all been down to the depth because, like you said, Odegaard's pretty much missed the whole season.
Yeah.
Saka's missed portions. Saliba's missed portions. Now Gabriel's going to miss portions. These are big players, you know. Havertz missing the whole thing. Jokeris now missing portions. Jesus, whole thing. Martinelli, portions.
Yeah.
Madueke, portions. Big money signing. All of a sudden, you go, well, the depth works really well because look at the tables. We're top of one table.
And if we could survive till Christmas in this same position with all this going on, that's a massive statement. But the big test will be what shape we're in going into the end of the season, because that's where we've fallen apart before. If we lose
last 10 games,
when we lose certain players in the last couple seasons, it completely derails us.
Dare I say, the post-international March will be what defines it.
Yeah.
Like, if we're got a lead at that point, it's about protecting that lead. If we've got a full strength squad, you've got to start thinking, other than nerves, they should be able to get over the line.
They should.
But will we have a full strength squad? We haven't proven that to happen ever so far.
You'd like to think we're having this bad luck now, like early.
Yeah.
You'd hope that that's the bad luck gone.
Yeah.
And we get a nice bit at the end, whereas in past seasons it's been the opposite.
Yeah.
We've had some bad starts, but the injuries come towards the end.
Yeah, and the benefit so far, is I'd say, with the depth, is the biggest kind of gold star for it has been, you know, our captain was missing this whole season. But we haven't noticed because Ezra's been unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the depth.
You know, Martinelli's missed portions.
And we loved Madueke.
But Trossard's been unbelievable. Yeah, Saka's missed 5-6 games.
Yeah, we loved. Yeah, we
but
loved.
Madueke got us through, and
Backups have been doing it.
we all loved him. You know, albeit they keep getting injured and stuff. For the time we need it, Saka's fit in a minute.
Yeah.
Touch wood, but Saka's fit, so we don't need Madueke. Madueke wouldn't be playing much,
Yeah.
even if he was fit.
Yeah. They've done their job when it was needed.
Yes, and that's what's so big. Is like, you know, Gyökeres, we saw this coming for a long way off. Havertz gets injured in the 10 minutes he plays against Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Since then, what's Gyökeres done? Pretty much played 90 minutes every single game.
Yeah.
And we went, he's going to get injured.
Yeah.
He got injured. But you'd hope, we kind of said, by the time he gets injured, I just hope Havertz is back.
Yeah.
Turns out Havertz had a relapse.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden you're like, oh, we're back here again. Here's Marino.
Yeah.
And there's nothing against Marino, but it's just not the same as having a legit centre forward who plays that position. He's never played this position.
No, it's like we're forcing a quality square peg into a round hole.
Yeah, it's not perfect. It does a job, but you can do a job against West Ham. You can't do a job against Bayern Munich, Chelsea and Tottenham.
Back to back.
And they have to, back to back. And that's where we've got to be careful. So I'd say the depth has worked unbelievably so far. This next one's going to really push it because, you know, we've added injuries but not got anyone back yet.
Yeah.
As they start to come back, I think we'll start to go, yeah, this depth's great.
Yeah.
You know, because the games, I was just looking at the games and it is just so fast. A couple little interesting things. Visit Rwanda. Our deal with them is up after 8 years in June.
Yeah.
We won't be
Has that
renewing
been
that.
8 years?
Yeah. That will be coming to an end. The other one is a big one. Michael Oliver is the ref.
Yeah.
And if you don't know Michael Oliver is the one who was paid by the Man City owners to go do matches in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And he, over 60 games, gave 3 yellow cards and no red cards to Man City.
Yeah.
And in that same 50 games, I think it was 9 red cards to Arsenal. It's a 1 in 5 games he gives a red card to Arsenal, which is the highest rate of any ref to any team.
Yeah.
He's the one that Kovacic went over the ball and Odegaard, it's clear red, he gave nothing.
Yeah.
And then a minute later he gave another one, and clear red again, and he gave a yellow.
Yeah.
And somehow he didn't end off from 2 red card offences.
Yeah.
He sent off Trossard against Man City.
Yeah.
He has not been allowed to. He was removed from refereeing Arsenal's after he sent Lewis Skelly off for a red card on the edge of the Wolves box.
Yeah.
That they later rescinded.
Yeah.
But they've decided he's ready to go back to Arsenal games just in time for a North London derby.
Amazing.
So something
Added
to keep
drama.
something to keep an eye out. Other than that, I don't really know what's going to come of some of this. Injuries and suspensions. Arsenal's is down as Jesus, unknown return. Gyökeres, unknown return. Havertz, unknown return. Martinelli, unknown return. Madueke, unknown. Odegaard, unknown. So Google knows a lot. And then over at Tottenham, they got Basuma's out for a while. Kulevski's still out for a while. And Dragassin's already out for a while. So it is what it is. But looking at the games, we have Tottenham at home 3 days later. So the night of our next podcast. So we'll be previewing that next week.
Yeah.
On the actual feed. Patreon, you'll get more stuff. We've got Bayern Munich at home on the Wednesday. Then on the Sunday, we're against Chelsea at 4:30 at Chelsea. Then midweek, we're on the Wednesday, we're against Brentford. Then on the Saturday, we are against Aston Villa at midday
Yeah.
at Aston Villa. Then we go away to Bruges on the Tuesday. Then on the following Saturday, we play 8 o'clock at night against Wolves. Then there is a 7-day rest before Everton away at 8 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Then we got a quarter final 3 days later. And then 4 days after that, on the day after Boxing Day, we got Brighton at home. Then Villa at home on the 30th. And then the 3rd, we're at Bournemouth, Liverpool 5 days later. Then there's a gap, which is the FA Cup. And then straight back into Forest and Inter away. It is...
There's a run of slightly more doable games there that should coincide with a few players coming back after these 3 or 4 after the Villa game, let's say. I think it goes into like Everton, Wolves, Bruges. Hopefully we should be somewhat back in shape by then.
That's what we're hoping. You know, that's what we're thinking is it's this week really. You got this week and then a midweek against Brentford. You've got this kind of feeling that are like 80% of the people we're mentioning going to be fit for Brentford midweek next week.
Yeah.
So in 10 days' time. Because 10 days is a long time because, you know, if you're talking soft tissue, you know, most people are saying anywhere between 10 and 21 days.
Yeah.
If that's what Gyökeres has, he's already been out. He went out half time of that Saturday, We played the following Saturday. So 7 days he was out. Then it's been another 7 days. So that's 14.
Yeah.
And then the game we're coming back to is that's 21 days.
Yeah.
Soft tissue is usually, somewhere between 10 and 21. He's at 21 on Saturday.
Yeah.
So maybe that is what it is. Maybe he is a late fitness test and he is looking to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've already had him out for 21 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we... Yeah, so even if it's not 21 days and it is 28, you'd think next week against Chelsea he's back.
Soon.
So you'd hope. But the only problem is there's people like Havertz, knee surgery, Madueke, knee surgery, Jesus, knee surgery. Odegaard, no surgery, I believe, but it's been an ankle issue. You remember he missed like a load of games for a collarbone, then he went out with it. In my head, it's like just surgery his ankle, surgery his shoulder, and just getting back there.
Just fix him. We'll get him back when he's ready.
I feel like I don't think he's had any surgery. So stuff like that are more interesting, but we haven't actually, after everything I've just said, we haven't had many soft tissue injuries. But the Gyökeres one does stand out.
Yeah.
And the Martinelli one.
Yeah.
But again, Martinelli went out midweek between the two, like between Burnley and the next one. So he's by North London Derby, at 17 days.
Yeah, because you don't usually take into account the days between or adding up.
Yeah, and also there was an international break, luckily, so they got some time under the belt. So those ones are the ones you think, even if by next week when we play Brentford, if Martinelli and Gyökeres were there, but everyone else was still fit,
Yeah.
you kind of instantly be like, yeah, this is fine.
Looks a bit more normal.
Because all of a sudden then you're just waiting for Odegaard and Havertz, and I think Madueke will be back in there as well.
Yeah.
And then Jesus comes back and you think, we've got a stacked squad. So I do think it's coming. It's just a very unnerving one. We've got the North London. This is my most... The reason I think I've got the dread is this is my most nerve-wracking. I'm not scared about Bayern Munich.
No.
If we lose 2-0 to Bayern Munich at home, everyone will go, well, the squad was looking a bit depleted.
And it's Bayern Munich.
And it's Bayern Munich. And also PSG lost that exact game to us and then went on to win the Champions League. We've also put ourselves in a position where it doesn't matter if we lose that one.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Chelsea away worries me, but the Tottenham one is the big one because if you win that and then lose to Munich, the good feeling from Tottenham is going to be like, yeah, but we, Champions League's going fine, right?
Yeah.
We had a busy, chaotic week. Now we need to get back on the bike. Like if someone said to me, you're going to win Tottenham, lose midweek, and then draw against Chelsea, I would take that from you
I'd
right
be
now.
fine, yeah. It'd be fine.
That's my worst case scenario.
Yeah.
In the league, 4 points, and Champions League, 0 points.
Yeah.
Best case, you win all 3.
Yeah, easy.
I don't think it's possible, but if you're going to not win one of them, for me, it's Bayern Munich.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'd happily win the 2 Premier League games and draw the Bayern Munich one.
Yeah. 100%.
Because we're just in a good place in the Champions League, and when you factor in the squad and the time,
And you can't lose momentum in the Premier League because it very quickly Man City are breathing down your neck.
Man City are really worrying me.
Yeah.
They've got no injuries. Haaland's at it. They love being slightly behind everyone. And if we just have a quick look at their fixtures coming up, I feel like they have maybe one tough one, and then it goes into a run. Yeah, they're away to Newcastle at 5:30 on Saturday.
Yeah.
That's a toughie. Then they're at home to Leverkusen, home to Leeds, away to Fulham, home to Sunderland, away to Madrid, away to Palace, home to Brentford, home to West Ham, away to Forest, away to Sunderland. Then they got Chelsea and Brighton at home in 1 week.
Yeah.
It looks ominously like 100%.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
I don't know why. And then all of a sudden they go to Man United, Bodo Glint, but then they're home to Wolves. I don't know what it is, but when I look at their fixtures, they're away to Tottenham and Liverpool in 1 week at the end of Jan. That could be a huge one.
It looks very doable.
But it just feels like until then, I can't even see them losing a game.
No.
But they did just lose to Villa, so Fulham away, all of a sudden they lose 1-0 and you go, oh.
Yeah, they're not solid, but they're still scary.
Yeah, it feels like we're going to have to be near on perfect.
Yeah. Which we've said that for a few seasons. To win the league, you've got to be near perfect.
You do, in all fairness. And if you don't, then someone else will win it.
Yeah.
But no, that's probably been it for this week's podcast. But this was here on the iTunes and Spotify. 5-star review. Please give us whatever you can. But over on the Patreon, if you want more of this is almost daily at this point because, like I just said, those fixtures are coming thick and fast. So you can have me solo on there. You can have Joe on here when he's here. I might get Joe to send me some stuff to get on the Patreon as well.
Hell yeah.
But there'll be constant news because these injuries, if all of a sudden, if press conference comes out this Friday and Arteta says everyone's fit, I might have to do an emergency podcast.
We'll have a celebratory sit down talk about it, shall we?
Exactly. So if you kind of got regular commutes to work or anything like that, and you want almost daily content, and you don't want to always have Arsenal playing in your ear, please go subscribe to our Patreon. It helps us kind of get better mics, get better all sorts. So kind of helps with the podcast. But we'll be back next week. And hopefully, getting ready for a Munich game after winning a North London derby and some injuries coming back. But if not, we'll see you then anyway.
Heck yeah.
Bye.
Bye.